Okay, thank you for watching Shades of Sound, a new YouTube series on sound production and audio technology and how to use it. My name is Will. I've been doing sound for a few years now, and if you don't know, Studio One just released a new version of their DAW software. Studio One 4 has a wealth of new features, the biggest of which, for me anyway, has been the chord track. What the chord track allows you to do is to input a piece of audio, like I've done here, and extract the chord data from it into the chord track, which appears above, and you can then extrapolate that information onto a different MIDI track, be it chords or notes or whatever, and Studio One 4 will do its best to redo that MIDI data to fit and follow the chords that you've started up above. So here's how to do that. I'm going to load in, I'm going to record the same sample that I have here from Spotify just to kind of gawk through the whole process, and we're going to generate piano chords based on that for use in our production. I'm also going to teach you a workaround trick to freeze that data and be able to copy it without having to rely on the chord track algorithm to continuously give you these chords over and again. So here we go. I'm going to delete everything that I have now, and we are going to start by recording our Spotify track. Gonna make sure this is muted, and this is set to mute. This is recording, and here we go. Back to one. Gonna hit record. It's now recording anything going through my computer, and here's Spotify. Get ready for our track, and here we go. This is a really beautiful track by Nimino. You can see the artist name down here. It's called Hug Me Shy. But we're just here for the first couple of tracks. Or first couple of chords, rather. And I would really love to pause it, except for the fact that Spotify has now disappeared. Spotify, I really don't appreciate you doing this. Not while recording stuff. Wow. Unhelpful. Super unhelpful. Spotify, the next time I tell you to close, just close. Just stop playing and close. You're ruining my video. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so we've got our chords. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just try to capture the first couple of chords here. We don't need this last bit. I'm going to turn off the auto snap. I'm going to zoom in. And we are going to... Boom. Here we go, and as you can see, this kind of already fits my window since I've already grabbed the tempo. That's for another time. We're not gonna mess with that now. So we've got our audio sample. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right-click it, and I'm gonna hit extract, or I'm gonna hit detect chords. It's gonna say, hey, these are the chords. That's great. And then we're gonna hit extract the chord track, and as you can see, the chords are up here, but they're not quite on beat. These little black bars. What you could do is I can actually just grab and move them. I'll turn my snapping back on and make sure these actually land appropriately. Oh, I've got the hiccups. Oops. Sorry about that. Anyway, so you've got that. Now let's generate some chords in our MIDI window here. I've just got a simple piano loaded up here. We'll double click that, and we'll create a B flat major chord. Boom. And that'll be that. So that's our first chord. It's a B flat, whatever, it doesn't matter. All I'm going to do is I'm going to actually duplicate it across a bunch of times. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to want to do that. Why are you doing this to me? Oh. Quite the process. Okay. Delete or duplicate that, and then I'm going to split these last two beats because, as you can see here, there are two beats there. So this is pretty boring. Play it with the track. Okay, so what do we do? Well, we've got our follow chords, or our chords up here. We've got our track with these chords down here. We need to make this sound like these chords. What you do is you've got your track inspector over here. You click on your track, open your track inspector, and there's this follow chords option in Studio 1.4. You've got a couple of different options here that'll give you different algorithms with which to process the data. I'm going to choose parallel, and that's going to give me these chords here. And we'll just this is just a basic example. The first time I did this, the chords were a lot better and more detailed. I had bass notes and stuff, but whatever. Now what happens is if you were to duplicate this across and hit D, your chords haven't changed. Technically, Studio One still thinks that these are the chords in here, and it's only processed it here because the chords are above it, up this way. Now, you could duplicate those across, and the Studio One has figured it out. But oftentimes, the second time around, it might not do the same chords as it did in the first clip. I've had that happen before. Ultimately, what you want to do is you want to be able to freeze this first MIDI clip that you generated and be able to use it everywhere in your project without having to rely on the follow chords function anymore. At least I do. If you wanted to keep it, then fine. Don't listen to the second part. But if you wanted to freeze it, what you do is you click on your MIDI thing, open your MIDI data down here, select all of it, and then you can right-click Musical Functions and go to Freeze Pitch. And what that'll do is when you turn off the follow chords, is it's locked the pitch down. So you can duplicate it here, and as you can see, it's all hunky-dory and everything. You can delete your chord track, and this will never change. So you could even mute the original sample, and you've just got your piano now. So that could be a very good way for starting out a track if you're looking for some musical inspiration. You don't quite know the chords you're looking for, but you kind of have a vibe that you really like and you want to start there. Then this is a very, very quick and easy tool. Hopefully it's been helpful, and thank you for watching. Make sure to hit like and subscribe for Shades of Sound. Follow us on Instagram, also Shades of Sound. Lots of cool stuff on there, and I will be back with more tutorials soon. Thank you so much for following, and have a nice one. Keep creating.